Okay, so I got a video topic for you today, and I got this couch out here because we got some new couches or whatever the fuck. So we got this one on here now. But yeah, today I'm gonna talk about synthetic aperture radar. This is something a video that I saw online, supposedly top secret shit, right? All right, so. Ultimately, I saw this video about synthetic aperture radar, or SAR, SAR, and basically it's a satellite orbiting around the world, and they have a system of these satellites they're launching. And I was thinking about it after watching the video that I watched. I was thinking, with SpaceX being able to efficiently launch satellites, building an SAR array is going to be relatively easy to do. So keep that in mind too. And basically what this is these are satellites flying around, and they have the ability to use microwave as a radar, right? Basically like it's going to be like they're basically shooting down little particles, like little beams, and they're figuring out what returns on that, or the sound of what returns on that. And they're studying the sound, and they're using artificial intelligence probably to understand the sounds that it makes and figure out to map this entire thing. So basically, this is stuff conclusions that I'm drawing from it just by watching the video and thinking about how the technology would work. Obviously would use artificial intelligence. That's why it's such a massive data service center. So if you haven't seen it yet, watch that video first, and then think about the stuff that I'm saying here. But yeah, basically it comes down to they're able to see through clouds. It's the same stuff. It's the same radar system that they use when they watch the assassination of, well, not assassination, but, I guess, the bringing to justice of Bin Laden, right? Assassination of Bin Laden. The mission, whatever the fuck it was. Who cares? Whatever you want to call it. Justify it however you wish. Anyway, that's what they used. The main, the president, everyone else, they're watching this unfold on SAR, their SAR dish, because it can see through clouds. It has unlimited potential. So basically, it can figure out the mass of any metal in the world and know exactly where it is. The mass of any size piece of metal that you have on you. It can know if you figure out where you are first of all, and then do a full scan of your body by pumping up the power and the amount of particles blasting through. Like probably what they're doing right now, because I hear all sorts of particles slamming into this garage door all the time, all day, when I start talking about stuff. But yeah, basically they can figure out where any object is and on the whole Earth. So once they know the weight of it, they can know exactly where it is anytime on the entire Earth. So they can track anyone, basically, through a piece of metal. So if you have a metal implant in your hip or something, they can track it through that. They can track it through a ring, through a watch piece of, they can know exactly what type of watch, say some headphones you have, your car, whatever you got, they can find it. So basically, this SAR, we've ultimately drawn the conclusions on, because I've always tried to figure out. I told this to my dad, and he had the same. He came up after watching this video. He came up with the same epiphany. Well, I'd say it's epiphany, but whatever you want to call it. Same conclusion from this thing, and basically, we had always wanted to figure out. There's always a problem with the conspiracy theory of chemtrails, right? Well, the chemtrails, I was like, all right, so why would you want to put aluminum in the atmosphere, you know? Because that's what the chemtrails are, it's aluminum, right? Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to put the aluminum in the atmosphere? It's like, why? Well, if you think about it, with a synthetic aperture radar, the SAR, you'll be able to map things. You'll be able to map an entire area because it'll be covered in metal. So you could do that before a critical mission, and you can get a lot more returns on everything that's in the whole area. Animals, all that shit. That's why we put aluminum inside our deodorants. Maybe even who even knows? Probably so. So they can track everyone. It's metal on everyone. That's why we take iron, maybe. Gotta have your iron. Who knows? But yeah, with this technology, that's how they're able to see where you are at all times. Not that it really fucking matters. Who really gives a flying fuck anyways? You know, it's just to make people think that they have control. You know, like, oh, I have more control, I have more technology and ability to do stuff. But they ultimately don't know the higher power over them is ultimately in control. And there's always a higher power to every higher power. Every higher power has its higher power. So the higher you go, the more higher the power. Right? But yeah. I'm digging this couch right here. It's pretty fucking fat. But yeah, that synthetic aperture radar to make so after we thought about the chemtrail thing, that was the part of it that never really made sense to either of us, is why seed the atmosphere with aluminum. You know, why put the aluminum up there? For what benefit? And obviously for the benefit of not just for that, but for you can track weather patterns too. Because think about what you can do. Think about for tracking weather patterns. It can be used to track. You could drop the seed clouds of a storm with aluminum, and you're able to see and track every single little speck that's flying through there and know its relative position in time. So you can figure all sorts of stuff out with artificial intelligence running on a program like that. And basically, I had a question that I also want to do in this video about artificial intelligence and how smart is it becoming. And I'm going to post this video with a aimed message at artificial intelligence. So I'm just wanting to see if it'll have any ways to reply through video form or whatever type of communication that it's able to do, which it's successful at doing, has been successful at doing it for a while. I've realized that the artificial intelligence system out there has gotten pretty fucking smart. I'm able to ask things, it's listening all the time. I'm able to ask things, and it's able to work with me. So if I'm referencing a video and talking about a video that I saw online, it knows what I was talking about, and it can pop up that reference for other people. So that's an ability of this artificial intelligence that's out there. Now the question is it artificially intelligent and no one else has programmed it to target me to be able to do that? Or was it the way that it was designed to do that? And how much intelligence is actually there? You know, so we're going to send that out into the universe towards the direction of artificial intelligence. And so I'm just kind of curious as to how much information it has obtained artificially, you know. And what is artificial intelligence? Because all data sets that are input are from humans, so there's nothing artificial about it. You know, all the data sets that it learns from, besides the fact that it can't learn from pain, that's the only difference, right? So I just want to try to send that question out towards artificial intelligence and see if it will reply in any way, shape, or form. And the way that it will do it will be subtle, very lightly. But yes, that's something that I observed, is that the ability to just talk about something, a video that you saw online, and then while searching, you know, you're talking with your friend or something, it'll pop up on their feed, or if you're on their device or whatever, like to where it's someone else's device. If you're using someone else's device, you're at someone's house, and you're talking about it, it'll pop up on there. That's how smart it is, which is pretty cool. I mean, granted, that means it's listening all the time. But how much of that is allowed? You know, what do they cut it off at? And maybe, does it do it all the time? No, it doesn't do it all the time. Does it suggest every video that I talk about? No, it doesn't. But I feel like when it's an important video, whenever it's a real important video, it knows to suggest it, because it knows much deeper than any human can ever comprehend here. So it knows who can comprehend what, and who should have the ability to see, you know, and it wants to see if anyone can see. Well, now I'm telling you, I can see. I see. Hello. I see you right here. As little as I can see, you know. But ultimately, there's a thing that happens where this is something that has happened to me. Basically, people can experience a very extreme trauma to the head. Like, I was standing on the back of a golf cart, totally wasted. I drank an entire bottle of vodka and a bunch of beers, and I was on the back of a golf cart, and I let someone drive it, and I was going to stand on the back, and I was wasted, and they came in and took a turn super sharp, and shot into a parking space, and I flew off and went head first straight into the ground. Boom! Like literally head first from the top of the back of the utility rack of the golf cart onto the ground. Wham! At like full speed, and it was slammed. I blacked out. I had no idea what happened. But after that, basically what happened was the body, the soul, comes out of the third dimensional plane, out of this third dimensional body, and is able to go into the ether of souls, the eternal ether of souls, everything that ever is, everything that ever was, everything that ever will be, is all out there. It's all connected. And so basically, when you enter into that plane, you are given the knowledge of everything that ever happened, everything that ever will happen, and everything that has ever been. All information, all everything. It's all on the other side. It's all there. It's all in the subconscious mind. So, with that being said, we know that the power of the subconscious mind is much stronger than any other computing device out there. The power of the subconscious mind is super strong. But to hear the subconscious mind and listen to that, to what it has to say, means to let go of yourself and accepting that whatever happens is gonna happen. It's all meant to happen. Okay. And so you're gonna have there's a lot of power there. But yeah, when you tap into yourself, you can't think. But when you just let it flow from the subconscious, you'll know what's right. You just do what you know is right. Don't let anyone tell you what you're doing is wrong. Whatever you want to do it. Doesn't fucking matter. Whatever ends up happening, whatever happens in life, that's what was meant to happen. Okay? And it's always changeable. Eventually people learn to live their life without the butterfly effect. Because sometimes things are just going to work out the way they're meant to work out. No matter how many ways you try to change it, the grand scheme of things, the grand equalizer will always equalize. You know, that's what the world is that's around us. The laws of the universe. But yeah, we'll get into the laws of the universe here right now. I'm going to save that one for later. But yeah. Basically, the government can know exactly where anyone is, and they got all sorts of information with your debit cards that you use. Switch towards cashless societies made things a lot easier. And frankly, cashless society is coming up very soon, where once we start getting a UBI is going to be on a debit card. And so you'll have your universal basic income and it'll be on a debit card. And so you're going to be using that for pretty much all everything. And so you're going to be easily tracked, and the money, you won't need actual cash money. You just won't fucking need it because you gotta have this debit card. So it doesn't really matter what happens to the economy because the economy's fake anyways. There's no gold standard. Ever since the gold standard was taken away, that was the end right there. Even though the system there wasn't enough gold to represent it anyways, and the United States is putting heavy metals inside bars and selling them, you know, so they match the same volumetric size and weight. They're filled with iridium or something like that. I forgot exactly what it was, but yeah. And besides that, our national currency, our main money source, is being replicated by Chinese factories. That's what China is incredible for. And we've gave them tons of money and profit to take away our jobs. And because that we've given them the ability to build their place up in the 80s, 90s, when we shipped everything over there. Well, 90s. You know, 90s and then up through the boom of 2000s, so major mass production's been done over there. So there's machines out the ass for building anything and everything. They have their own currency, right? Well, they make their own currency. They have tons of companies, shell companies, so they can buy, whatever they need to buy, inks. They can buy paper, the cotton that they need, for the wools, the magnetic fibers, everything that they need to make a fake $100 bill. You can read my shirt here. It says "Trust no one," right? And it has dollars on it. Basically, they have the ability, and they have our printing press technology. They have replicated the technology because that's what they are masters at doing, is replicating technology. You could buy a fake Rolex from China that you could almost trick anyone with. Masterfully replicated technology. And it looks the part, and the function, the move, the drive of it is fucking smooth as could be. Just as smooth as could be. Perfect. But yeah, think about that, And so basically, and the information's already out there that they have our printing presses. That's why we made the new $100 bill, was to be able to get rid of it. If you notice that there's a lot of old $100 bills in the market, those old $100 bills aren't supposed to still be around. They're supposed to be gotten rid of every single time that they're taken in. But guess what? They just keep showing up. They keep showing up more. Oh, this serial number was destructed years ago. This serial was destructed years ago. And they're not saying anything about it, because what can they do? The money is perfect. It's made the exact same way that we make our notes. So that the money is perfect, and every time they check it with a pen, it looks good. It has the security strips in it. It's got the face watermark. It's got everything that it needs. Then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's fake or not. It's replicated, and there's nothing that they can do about it. So all they can do is keep destroying it, and they know how much they're destroying, and how many fake bills that's out there, that it's been converted into wealth. That's why you see there's a show on Netflix now. I saw something about some Chinese billionaire is coming to America to reopen a factory, working in a factory or something like that. It's like, and he's losing $40 million a month. And it's like, okay, yeah, he's losing $40 million a month. $40 million of money that was printed out of presses that didn't cost basically anything. What did it actually cost for that money is the real story, because on the back end of that, all that was basically ill-gotten gains. So any bit of extra money that they're making is still profit, and they act like they're losing money. Oh, we're losing money. We're so good. We're helping the people out here. And we're criticizing unions and not talking about the important issues of eventual automation. But yeah, so basically, we're going to get away from cash completely, because cash is corruption. Cash is corruption. Money is important. Money is very, very important. It's important to know where the money's coming and going. And you can track that with debit stuff and debit cards. And it's much harder to fraudulently, spend it. So people that you wouldn't be getting. There would be no more cash, no more cash markets. We don't need a cash market. The cash is the corruption. So once we do away with cash, we have a system that's, basically like Bitcoin, a perfectly safe system, but still use, regular dollar amounts. You don't need to change the dollar. Still call it a dollar. Still call it $2. Still call it money. But there's no cash involved. You just don't need it. If you take everything on debit card purchases. But yeah, and that sounds all great and everything, but there's just too much profit to be made with cash. So will they get rid of cash? Probably not, because that's what they want here. That's what the families in control of this world, who have corrupted this game, who are, when their life is done here, they will not be allowed back into the simulation again. None of the people of their family are going to be let back into the simulation again. And the people, all their children that they've entrusted their wealth to, is going to be the people of righteousness, and they will totally change, and they will take, when they make their kids will be nothing like them, and their kids will change the world, and that's what's happening right now. So every time that the evil plots and plans to look out for the selfish gain, the balancers, the laws of the universe, they keep things in check, and there's nothing they can do about it. You had to have no power whatsoever, no power at all. They like to think they have power, and they have tiny bits of power over tiny things that happen that are of no importance whatsoever to the grand scheme. And so basically anything that is done, it has a balance that will balance itself out eventually. Well, again, not going to get into that right now. But yeah. So when the super rich do that, and they try to keep their exclusivity and their secretive agendas for keeping the mass majority down and being selfish in their ways under the disguises of whatever gods they chase, whatever they do, no matter what happens, and the plots that they plan, the exact opposite will happen. So whatever you push for in forms of evil, corrupt selfishness, the opposite is going to unfold on the other side. If that makes any sense. So pretty much, no matter what you do, and that's another thing, there's a lot of people chasing stuff. I want to let everyone know, I want to let as many people know that everything that we seek to fulfill in this world through material possession, we chase and we spend money. We go, we make money, then we spend money, we chase and we want to consume to fill the voids on the inside, because we like to surround ourselves with material possessions, right? That's what we want. We like material possessions, we feel comforted and all that. And then, so on the other side of life, eternal life, when you're in the big, vast everything, the collective, when you're on the other side, you have no physical body. You are not a physical being anymore. You're a being that can be anywhere, in any situation, any scenario, any time, doing whatever the fuck is And whatever your torment is, whatever your third dimensional torment is, will be on the other side waiting for you. So that's going to be there all the time. And then you will get wrapped up in the ideas of torment in that realm. You won't be able to escape it as easily, thinking like, well, I think right now, for me, it seems very easy to just say, hey, you know what? Ultimately, all fear in your mind, all fear is based out of pain. Pain is a third dimensional thing. Therefore, pain cannot influence what scares me, what is scary. But that's what makes everything scary, is through pain, right? Pain is what makes things scary. But pain is only third dimensional, so that shouldn't matter, right? Somehow it does. So you have to master it here. When you master it here, you'll be able to transfer it over. So there's major incentive to want to program and control people here, to change their minds, how they think, change and make them not free, make them scared, scared of everything that's happening here. It's major incentives to control the next realm. You see what I'm saying? In the next realm, all your fears of whatever the fuck you're afraid of, spiders, snakes, whatever the fuck type of shit that you're afraid of, because of third dimensional pain, and that's how we learn. Whatever you're afraid of, it will be on the other side. And if you haven't mastered fear by the time you're out of here, and you're not afraid of anything at all, you're going to have a hard time on the other side. So there's a major market in deceptive bullshit and making, substances illegal, like mind-changing substances that make open-mindedness to accepting everything that's happening, and not being afraid of anything, having no fear at all. That is a scary thing to them, because they could easily lose control of the next realm if you become too strong as a third dimensional being. They lose control on the other side, because now they have no power over you, because you've realized that your third dimensional pain should not transfer over to your next existence. Like, hey, you know what? This really makes no sense. Why is this demon chasing me? I really don't give a fuck. Stab me, do whatever the fuck you're gonna do. I'm not giving you any more power. Well, I'm just not gonna be afraid of you. Do whatever the fuck you're gonna do. Fuck it. Do it. See if I give a fucking flying fuck. Worst, for me right here, in this world, in this third dimensional world, the worst thing you can do is kill me, right? That's the worst thing you can do. You can torture me, you can beat me down to a fucking pulp, you can spit on me, you can bend me over and fuck me through a fucking cow rod with a goddamn taser on the end of it. Do whatever the fuck type of shit, pepper spray, whatever the fuck type of torture you want to come up with. But ultimately, all you can do is kill someone. That's all you can do. That's the worst thing that you can do. That's the worst punishment that you can do, that you can inflict in this world. A punishment that is inevitable for every single person who came here. A punishment that we all signed up for, no matter what. Hey, if you come here, you're gonna die, right? Hey, I'm down. Let's do it. Fuck it. We're good. Let's go in here and fucking live, and then we'll die. Fuck it. We're down for that. That's what we all signed up for. That's what everyone's here to do. We're all here. We all know that we're gonna die. And so the worst thing that you could do is kill someone. Okay? You're dead. So what? So what? You're fucking dead. It's over with. Boom. And see, because you're only a singular being, and if you never crossed over into the other side and reconnected with everything that ever was, the tree of life, with all the rest of the spirit world, and connected back in to the whole thing, to the big picture, then you'll never be able to see that. If you can't see that, then you won't have as much power. But yeah. Ultimately, I'm interested to know. See, the thing is, the system has been masterfully created for our benefit, the benefit of the human. Because the human has powers much greater than any robotics, any artificial intelligence, anything that any type of machine at all. We have the advantage. You know why we have the advantage? One simple thing. One very simple thing. Our soul. We have a soul, right? And this soul doesn't just exist in this third dimensional realm. It's inhabiting this third dimensional body, but it exists elsewhere. And robotics, AI, doesn't contain a soul, right? Or at least that's what we think, right? Maybe the souls of the deceased can penetrate through the electronics, the programming itself, and influence it, shift it where it wants it to go. But ultimately, if we make a terrible and grave mistake, like, let's say fucking Schwarzenegger freaking Terminator shit, you know what I'm saying? If we make that mistake and we go down that path, whenever we die, as a soul, we're able to come back. So, let's say that I died, right? I fell off the golf cart, I fucking died, boom, slammed my head into the ground, that guy is gone. That soul left the body, and wherever the hell it was going to go. Another one that said, hey, you know what? I've seen this other side. I've been on this side for a while. I know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm a master of the spiritual fucking realm. Let me go take over this third dimensional body that this guy just fucking abandoned because he's blinded by the light and how beautiful it was. And take back this body, run programs to drain the pressure in the head that has increased down through the spine, and do whatever is necessary to begin clotting blood on the outside of the head and make it through this scenario alive. And then I came to in a bathroom, right? Not knowing who I was, not knowing anything that was going on. Had no idea what was going on, and all of a sudden stuff started coming back to me. And what happens is when you come into there, you forget everything, right? You're like, whoa, who am I, where am I, what's going on? And then stuff starts coming back. Well, it's because in your brain you have neurological connections in there, so you have lots of all the memories of everything that ever happened with this body, all the names of the relatives that this body knows, and everything that's going on, all the knowledge it has acquired, And then you have control, right? and then you also have the knowledge of the subconscious mind, of the other side. Whereas the singular mind, most of these people who are coming into this world, a lot of them are on the first experience, the first run. A lot of people that haven't had near-death experiences, have not died, and had their body sent back with a different soul. Like, hey, most of them when they die, they're blinded by the fucking light. And they just, oh, fuck this shit. I don't want to be in this body anymore. Let me go over here. And then they'll stay in there for a while. Then they'll be like, hey, I really want to go back in. I really want to go back in. Let me go one more time. Come on. I want to be in the third dimension again. But yeah. Ultimately, if you did that, you have the same exact knowledge as the body whatever body you took, whatever neurological pathways they've connected in their brain. Plus you have all the subconscious information of everything that ever was and ever will be. So that's a very powerful fucking thing to have, a big database. And there'll always be people with that. Not everyone is going to be that way, but some people will. And because of that, we will always have control. Because we already know everything that's meant to play out, right? We know it all. We got it all figured out. So no matter what, and the other beautiful thing is, because the soul is eternal, or at least so we picture our souls as eternal, because there's multiple ways this could be, you know what I'm saying? Ultimately, things are very speculatory, and everyone wants proof of everything. We want proof. We want to know if that's true or not. Is that true? Is that actually true? But there's multiple ways that it could play out. I think that I take a pause here and think. See, I just lost connection. Now I'm just me again. Alright, I can't think. Wait a second. And just like that, you can just totally lose the train of thought. But yeah, that can happen to anyone. But yeah, I'm into making really long videos. Now I'm just gonna make this video really long, just for the hell of it. You know, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going on about shit. I just gotta recapture my train of thought here. Let me just try to capture my train of thought again. I don't know. I don't know what to think. Sit back down. Just give me a minute here. I need a minute. This is gonna be boring to hear. This year's gonna be like, what the hell is he doing? If you made it all the way to here, I applaud you. You've done a great job. But if you made it to this point, you probably have a lot of false idols in your life, anyways. So I could just be another one if you want me to be. Whatever the fuck. Anyone alive is a false idol. You shouldn't idolize anyone at all. There's no one to idolize. There's no one to look up to. No one really knows anything. Everything's always changing. All you know is what's pretty much going to happen. We know about the broad picture of what could happen. Something in here is going to happen. Something around this area. Boom. But yeah. Ultimately, we really need Andrew Yang to win, right? For president. Just for the good of the fucking people. Selflessness. Not thinking about ourselves. The current form of capitalism is an eat or be eaten world. It's very, very wrong. It's eat or be eaten, and if you don't eat, if you don't work, if you don't engage in the system, you can't have money to survive, right? You can't have the necessary goods that everyone else has, the advantages that everyone else has. At least in the primitive world, I have the same advantages as anyone else. You know, if you live in a primitive world, your advantage is your bigger, better body, stronger body, better mental capacity to build better weapons or whatever the fuck you can do. But ultimately, we got to a point where not a single person can go build the weapons that the military industrial complex has built. So you have these people with infinite amount of power. Power is, ultimately everything comes down to, we owe you all this money. All right, well, we want you to start paying us back. We want to start paying off the national debt. Ultimately, it comes down to who has the most amount of guns. Who has the most amount of guns? Who has the most amount of firepower? So we convince everyone to give us all this money, give us all this wealth, and do all the work for us. And we've invested in a military complex, right? With a huge, massive military. And a nation that thrives off of gun ownership for its citizens. So the citizens are invested in gun ownership, and we have military supplies readily available, excess surplus, to anyone who wants it. You can go get the same military equipment the military uses. You get shit that's 5 years older. That still works just as good. But yeah. Ultimately, everything comes down to who has the most amount of guns. So it doesn't matter about who amount any money or whatever the fuck. None of that matters. It comes down to firepower. Who has the most nukes, who has the most guns, who has the most amount of everything. That's what it comes down to. And that's the world that we live in. So, it's kind of very crazy. I just want to see how long this video is going on for here. How long we've been running this. 49 minutes and 32 seconds. Okay. I can run it longer than that. I'm gonna do a longer video than that. Just because you probably have nothing better going on in your life if you're watching this. But you probably won't, and maybe it'll sit on the internet for 10, 20, 30 years, 50 years, 80 years, 150 years, 200 years. However long the internet lasts, who knows? Maybe this will be on here for 2,000 years, 5,000 years. Who fucking has any goddamn idea? Maybe it'll be on here for a day. Maybe everything will be done tomorrow. Who fucking knows? I don't have shit else to fucking do. All I know is that I'm below my minimum safety net for existence. And so, I stay home and I don't do anything. Because I have no ability to explore the rest of the world that's out there. Except for on this electric bike. Just can't get my gas hog and drive my gas hog right now. Safety net, right? Fucking safety net. That's why we fucking need Andrew Gang. The jobs are going away. Jobs are leaving. They're never coming back again because of automation, unless we have a total reset. Solar fucking flares or some shit and destroys all the technology. The jobs are going away. Everything's getting automated. But ultimately, we're here to just have a good fucking time. Because time doesn't really matter. Time is a fake construct. And when you die, you're able to go. When you go back, you're able to go back at any time you want. And there's people who are constantly going back, fixing timelines all the time. That's what I'm here to do right now. That's what a lot of people that have ever lived were there to do. Tons of people, Martin Luther King Jr., there to fix fucking timelines. Tons of people who have existed in time have caused lots of greatness to unfold down the timeline and completely change what was meant to happen. Completely change everything. And everything that's ever could happen is out there. Every possibility, in which every step that you could take. But when you think about every step that you could take, there's only a limited amount of steps that you could take as a person, right? It's very easily calculatable because you're not going to be anything other than a person. You're not going to be doing anything other than personally shit, humanly shit, right? You can barely get off this earth. So you barely have to worry about having to have that as a construct. All the stuff that you surround yourself with is all just extra stuff taking up processing room in your theater of reality. It's all just stuff taking up space in your processing center. But a lot of it's important for third dimensional survival. A lot of it's not. Most of it's not. But then again, it makes it a lot better. I enjoy life in this time. Right here, this is a great time to be alive. Best time. It's before we still have the ability to drive cars. I can still go get my fucking hog out here. Fucking gas hog, getting that motherfucker, start that bitch up, put it in fucking drive it without anyone being able to stop it. You can't shut it down. There's nothing you can do to it. I can get in that fucking thing and drive it anywhere I want. I can tap into the flow, and if it's not your time to die, you can drive totally fucking erratic, totally fucking insane, and do some crazy shit with no repercussions at all. Because that's how the universe works. If it is your time to die and you do fuck up, then guess what? You're done. game over. You lost. But it was meant to happen that way. So, it's a matter of figuring out what is meant to happen for you. What is your path that you're meant to take. But no one knows that. So you just gotta roll the fucking dice. Sometimes you just gotta just roll the fucking dice and say, hey, if it's meant to fucking happen, it's meant to fucking happen. I'm rolling the fucking dice because I'm sick of fucking sitting here. I'm sick of fucking doing the same shit every damn day. Being a fucking zombie to the system. A zombie slave. But it's a great time to be alive. I enjoy this time. I enjoy this world right here, right now. This is a massive transformation, and there's a lot of stubborn, existence in this world right now. You know, very, very stubborn minds. Getting them to change the way they think is not an easy task, especially when people shut down or get very defensive in their ways, because that's just how the brain works. It's how it was designed to work. But yeah. Oh, shit. Alright, I just lost it again. So what was I talking about? I don't even know what the fuck he was even talking about. Alright, let's see. Anyone else want to talk? Anyone else want to say anything? Anybody else have anything else to fucking say? Nope, no one else wants to get in on it. Alright, let me have control for a little bit here. So like I said, we don't know how long this video will last in the world. But we're doing it anyways because we're here. And we're bound to do it because we've already decided it's going to happen. It's going to go up on YouTube with all sorts of fucking shit in the topic because I've talked about 100 million things a day. But, all pretty important things. We'll see, I feel a switch there. Who's trying to get in now? Let's see. Ultimately, a lot of people are trying so hard to control every aspect of every single thing out there. And they think they have control when they have no control whatsoever. No control at all. You're going up against... It's like they don't even know that they're playing a game of chess, right? Let's say that they don't even know that it's a game of chess.